afternoon, everybody, or whichever time of day it is in your part of the world. Okay, so today we're talking about mentoring, a very dark and arcane subject, but who needs it? Well, in case you didn't know, everybody needs it. It's very important in life, not only professionally, but privately as well. And it's important from even the most junior worker in a company up to the senior board member. Everybody needs somebody to talk to reflect ideas, to challenge, to think about things, and to challenge their own thinking and to validate their own thinking too. So everybody benefits from being mentored. And you see the graphic there, senior executives. I've been very inclusive and made it a lady on the end of the table there. Bit experienced professionals, junior members of the company, and importantly, other departments in the company. If nobody in the rest of the company knows what you're thinking about, what the bidding committee is thinking about, how can you help them and how can they help you? And this is one of the cornerstones of mentoring, sharing experience, sharing communication. Everybody in the company needs to be included in the mentoring sphere. So what's the journey? And the lovely J word that everybody likes to use. So we start with preparation. So everybody starts the same place. You have a baseline and you identify a need or a want and the desire to grow. You then identify the next phase of your growth, and that's to find your mentor and discuss your needs. Very important you do that, and it needs to be very important that you're open and honest with your mentor, and your mentor should also be open and honest with you as well. So along the way, you will discuss, and it's different for everybody. Everybody has different needs, everybody has different requirements. But your mentor will help you discuss, visualize, articulate. There's all sorts of wonderful words that help you understand just what it is you want to achieve. And you finally get to the top of the mountain in this stage where you've reached the goal for that particular exercise. But you'll notice behind in this graphic, there are more mountains to climb. Mentoring is not just a one-time exercise. It goes on for the whole of your career. I'm still mentored by people. I still have to go to people and discuss my ideas. I have to go and get my ideas validated. So don't think that it's a one-time exercise. It's not. It's an interactive thing. Once you start to do it, you'll find it's beneficial. You'll find you like to keep doing it. It's a very busy slide, and I'm not going to try and talk you all through it. I'm sure Baachu will make all these slides available to everybody, but these are just some of the things that mentors or mentorship can give you in your career and your private life. And the two, obviously, that stand out are kickstart your professional development and maybe leadership skills as well. Very, very important that you do it. But along the bottom there, I've written, it's a two-way street. It gives you a path to knowledge transfer. Now, why do I say that? Because you and your mentor will exchange views, ideas, and people may find this strange, but the mentor learns from the mentee just as much as the mentee learns from the mentor. So it's definitely a two-way street. I've learned so much from so many people that I've talked to over the years. I've learned so much that's been useful in what I do and how I do it and where I do it and who I do it with. It's expanded my knowledge to a huge extent. And what's more, I've enjoyed doing it, which is maybe why I like doing it so much. Some facts to ponder. 71% of Fortune 500 companies have a mentoring program. And 94% of employees said they'd stay at a company longer if they were offered opportunities to learn and grow. That sadly is not the case. So, you know, if you need this stuff, you have to ask for it. It won't be given to you. 67% of businesses reported an increase in productivity due to mentoring. That's very important. But now the other side of this coin, what can you do? You can be a mentor for someone. Now, don't forget in life, whether you know it or not, you have already been mentored. Your parents were your first mentors. And if you have children, guess what? You're mentoring them too. So you are already a mentor as well as being perhaps a mentee if you need advice from somebody. Share your ideas with your team. You will feel better for doing it. You will grow for doing it. You'll be thought better of. Treat the mentors in your life properly. Say thank you now and again. It says so much. And post on your socials to increase the awareness of the mentoring movement. And I say it's mentoring movement. Over the past few years, mentoring has emerged from the shadows. It was thought to be a very strange thing to do, but now it's quite normal. In as much as I do it all the time. In the UK, we have a purpose application within the association for mentoring. I would encourage you guys, if you're elsewhere in the world, to go and think about, should you be trying to set up in your own geographies? It does pay dividends, huge dividends. Some FAQs. Do you need a mentor? Well, it's your choice. But at the end of the day, you've got everything to gain and nothing to lose. So, you know, it's I would say it's a no-brainer, really. If you're offered the chance to sit and talk and exchange views with somebody, why wouldn't you? Who should you ask? Well, in this case, I'm assuming that most of the people here are APMP members. Ask your local chapter. They should have local volunteers, or even simple ask for fellow professionals. It's a little known fact, but people like to be asked for advice. It makes them feel good. If someone comes to you and says, hey, can you help me? You will feel good. If you go to somebody else and say, hey, I need some help, they will feel good too. Can anybody be a mentor? Absolutely. You can mentor anybody and anybody can be a mentor. You'll gain so much from doing it. It's unbelievable. I can't stress that enough. It's so enjoyable. You gain so much knowledge. You talk to people. You get a different view of the world. You get somebody else's view, which is not your own, and the opportunity for you to grow and you to increase your knowledge. What does a mentor do? Primarily, a mentor listens. Now, that's the hardest part of being a mentor, is to just listen and say nothing, but then guide from personal experience. Now, a lot of people say, what's the difference between mentoring and coaching? Mentoring is dependent a lot upon personal experience. Coaching is not. They are different disciplines. They do share some similar attributes. Don't get the too confused. And the last one there, what does a mentor does not do? Very important one. The mentor does not do the work for you. You still have to make the effort. You have to want to improve. You have to want to grow. If you don't do the work, then I'm afraid it doesn't work. Quite a few mentor assignments fail because people think the mentor is the golden button. It's not. So how do you find a mentor? Yeah, after these things coming up here, look at this, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so you've got an advantage. Your local APMP does this for you, usually. Ask your local board. Talk to fellow professionals in the office. Do you go to APMP events? Sit and talk with people. Exchange views. Exchange, hey, what's going on? I've come across this problem. What did you do? Ask people for advice. And like I say, most people love to give advice. It makes them feel good. Secret is, when in doubt, ask. Now, a lot of people think that if you ask for advice, you're showing weakness. Can I put that one to bed right now? It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign that you recognize you have a need which you cannot fulfill, and you're looking for someone to help you to do it. So it's not weakness, it's strength. Never be afraid to ask someone, hey, I need some help, I need some advice, whatever. You'd be surprised at the result you get. So if you, in doing this, what types of mentoring would you come across? Well, the first one obviously is one-to-one. Now at the moment, that's a bit difficult because of the current situation with COVID and God knows what else. Traditional one-to-one or face-to-face has not really happened for the past 2 years. And for a mentor like me, that makes my life somewhat difficult because I have to adapt to a different way of doing it, which is this one, distance mentoring. And this is where I mentor somebody over a screen. Now, for me, I've had to learn how to do that. And so if you become a mentor at the moment, until the world changes, maybe you'll have to learn how to do it too. But again, it's still fun, it's still enjoyable. You still get a great feeling of fulfillment from doing it. And you also get a great deal of feedback from your mentee. Believe you me, mentees are grateful for your help. They really are. The last one, group mentoring. I don't recommend you try this if you're new to this. You need to be quite experienced as a mentor before you take this up, where a single mentor mentors a group of mentees. Now, it can be a great deal of fun. It's also an awful lot of hard work, and the mentor needs to be really, really switched on to be able to do it. And I'll leave you with a couple of thoughts. Even the best don't do it alone. Mentors have mentors too. I have mentors. So if I have a question or if I don't know how to do something, I go and talk to people. I'm lucky that I've been involved in the association for quite some time. I'm quite well known. But if I go to someone with a question, they know that I'm serious. So never be afraid to ask for a mentor. You never do it alone. So that's a very quick run through. Thank you for listening. Questions?
Thank you, Alan, because I just want this to be much more interactive than the traditional session. So, if you have any questions, which I would want every single one of you join, because this is a closed forum, guys. And everybody, including me, I always have questions, but sometimes you just accept that's the way of life and you move on. But now you have the space, this next 30 odd minutes, to just ask that one or two questions that you might want to ask. It could be related to proposals, or it could be related to your general career, where you stand, because every day we see, even today morning, we received two CVs from proposal professionals who were made redundant just last week. So things are not easy as it was. COVID has made it even more worse. So again, I will ask Alan one or two questions from my side, but think about it. Again, this is a small group, so I can allow you to talk as well. So drop a note if you want to have, if you want to ask questions. Anyway, I'm going to open up everybody to talk here, and let's just have this interactive session. So, Alan, I know when people normally don't tend to think, I don't have a problem, or I don't know how to share my problem to others. When you had your very first mentor, Alan, what triggered you to ask for help?
What triggered me to ask?
Yeah.
I was in a situation where I was faced with what seemed to me an impossible question that I could not answer. I did not know the answer. I looked for somebody who had done something similar before and approached that person and Robert, as he was in those days, said to him, "Hey, Robert, this is my problem. I've been asked to do this and I don't know how to do it. Help me, please." And like I said to you in the past, people love to be asked. He came through with so much information that suddenly my problem went away. Yeah, so you know, it really is a question of breaking the ice and not being afraid. People love it if you ask questions. I see there's one there from Smita, is it? Pardon me if I get the word wrong.
Yes, I will. We can go through one person at a time, Alan, and then we'll ask them to ask that. As I mentioned, it could be anything related to your career or your life, or anything to proposals that you do. Alan can go for it, but sometimes, in my case, balancing my time was always being the hardest for me. So I do need to have a couple of mentors, or at least talk them through, to really make me aware of where do I want to spend some time more on the business, on the family, on myself. How do I strike a balance when one doesn't work, etc. And having the realization, or having somebody as a sounding board, always guides you in that. So
it's very valuable, very valuable.
Totally. So Barbara, I'm gonna make you talk first. Barbara, again, there is no, you can't share anything that you want to ask for. You are allowed to talk now. You can come out of the mute. Any questions that you want to ask Alan or me on any aspect, because mentoring, as it mentioned, it's not technical. It could be something that you have a challenge, but we might have seen this or heard this, or even anybody else within this group might have experienced the same as well. So please do come on board. Barbara, I've just opened you to talk. Please do come on board.
Thank you. I'm not really involved in the local APMP chapter because it's over an hour away from me. What would you suggest as far as looking for a mentor, not necessarily within your organization?
Okay, so first of all, distance is no object in this day and age. By your accent, you're in America and I'm in the UK, and we're talking quite happily, so distance is, forget it. You must know people who, how can I put this, who know more than you do, who that you're quite comfortable talking to. And what's wrong with, say, asking them a question? I mean, whatever your issue is, if you bounce an idea off somebody, what's the worst they can say? No? Or maybe they'll say, yeah, okay, I did that once and I can do it this way. You just suddenly got a mentor relationship going. It's that simple. Seriously, all you have to do is ask. Does that answer your question, Barbara?
Yes, thank you very much.
And don't be constrained by the geography, Barbara, because we have, as Alan mentioned, if you're part of the association, yes, there could be people already who call themselves mentor, but that doesn't stop you from just dropping a LinkedIn message to someone saying, hey, I just want to talk to you, and then spend 15-20 minutes talking about it, because we have find many colleagues who, say, for example, who live in Turkey have mentors in the US, who live in Peru, who have mentors in India, etc. So with now, as Alan mentioned, the long distance mentoring, it only takes 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes a month for somebody's time, and there is always time. So I suggest pick somebody whom you trust, whom you look into, and then drop a message. It could be Alan, it could be me, or it could be anybody. And then say, hey, I have this, and I just want to talk in confidence, and that's it. Because, it's at least sharing it will reduce half of the burden. But then if you listen in and take an action, it reduces the second half. But the very simple thing, sharing reduces the first part. But I'll leave it there. Thank you for asking, Barbara. So
thank you for that suggestion also, because I hadn't thought about using a request on LinkedIn. So that's a great one. Thank you.
Listen, Barbara, LinkedIn, great.
Alan will point out now, because we are raising funding, £500,000. It all started in LinkedIn, and we raised over £400,000 in LinkedIn messages alone. This is asking people to invest in money where they actually physically need to do. Whereas this one is asking for advice. So Alan, any further pointers, Alan?
Yeah, Barbara, I mean, I agree with the LinkedIn idea, but in your local community, Are you a member of any clubs, tennis clubs, social clubs of any description? Do you go to meetings where there are people of, how can I put this, commercial worth, people in business? Do you have any of that, Barbara?
Most of my community involvement is with my church, and the majority of the people that I interact with are retired, but I'll
Great. Hey,
keep a lookout.
Whoa, hang on a minute. You've got an absolute diamond source of information there. Retired people have been there and have done it.
That's true.
Successfully for years and years and years, and love to talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. What's funny is most of the people in my church are retired school teachers.
Even better. Even better. All you have to do, and the work you have to do, is think about the question you ask and the way you ask it. So that you're thinking about what you want to get back. What's the response you want? So the question has got to be quite closed. Yeah. Good practice for bid writing.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. And please do keep us posted within the next week or so. Just ask somebody something and share to us whether that worked. Again, even asking somebody, hey, I have a small help. I just want to speak to you, will mean a lot to the people, because sometimes, as Alan mentioned, you think from the other side, for you to respect them, trust them, to ask a question will mean a lot to the other person as well. Yeah. And that means that they will take extra care in ensuring that you're okay, but if you don't share, then they don't know, because Alan, that's it. I share with Alan anything and everything, but definitely. Thank you, Barbara. Good luck. Please, thanks for joining. So Jennifer, I will leave you to talk, Jennifer. Anything from you, Jennifer? Any one burning question that you would like to ask?
You scared her off, Pascal.
No.
I think Jennifer and I had a mentor-mentee relationship a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when she was doing practitioner. I first met Jennifer in New Orleans in 2018, I think.
Right.
My memory serves right.
Right.
Subsequently, she passed her practitioner.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Alan. I think I'm sure, as I mentioned, 1/3, we did the count, 1/3 of the PPAQ, the previous response, where you need to write more about what you achieved in your career on different, I think there are 30 questions or something where you need to reflect on your life, so predominantly your career. It was very challenging to make it in a concise way, and Alan was 1/3, that's globally. Alan was the mentor. So anything on the proposal side, you could ask Alan as well. Please don't miss this chance.
That scenario predated the COVID, but it was worldwide. I'm not afraid, but I had mentees from around the world, and we did or carried out the process via email. This is prior to Zoom and Teams and all these other things. So we spent hours on email talking to one another, and time frames and time scales aside, that was a challenge in itself. But, understanding what their challenges were and why they felt they couldn't answer these questions, a different story.
Thank you, Alan. That's useful. So again, Jennifer, I think whenever you can come out on mute, you can ask. But in the meantime, let me go to Kiyomi. Kiyomi, thanks for joining from Japan. Congratulations on your foundation success recently. And any question, Kiyomi? I know Japanese.
Yeah, it's been a while. Thank you for asking, Pascal. And hello, Alan. This is a great session. Thank you for that. And I know recently I'm trying to get the support from the NCC chapter, but it seems like it's the campaign, sort of a campaign recently, but it's ended closed. I think, I'm afraid. The problem is that I don't have any experience on the MNT even a mentor yet.
Okay, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
and
but
yeah, and I don't have hear a lot about these kind of personal experience from others in the office or like my personal network. So,
okay, so first things first, congratulations, your English is fantastic.
oh, thank you.
Far
Thanks.
better than my Japanese. Now, you say you have no experience of it. Fine. Nobody does until they start doing it. But you do know how to talk to people, I'm sure. And that is, forget the titles and the tags, mentor, mentee. It's about communication. It's about talking to people. It's about exchanging ideas. All right. So don't worry about the fact that you're not a mentor or a mentee. Forget that. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. The fact is you need to talk to people. Okay. And there must be other people locally to you in the local association. And I know APMP Japan is quite new, but there still must be people that you can reach out to and just talk to. You might be surprised at what you're going to find out just by exchanging ideas. Yeah, I would encourage you to go and talk to your local people. Even as we just said with Barbara there, if you have a local group that you talk to, forget the fact it's in APMP, a group of people that you mix with, talk to them. Yeah, you'll be surprised at the amount of knowledge that is laying about unused, untapped. And it's only when you ask the questions, suddenly these things appear. Does that help?
Yeah, actually, I'm not belong to the Japan chapter, and instead in the other chapter in English, based on English, and that's I would like to connect with a global network because my business have been all in English. So the problem that I'm not the employee of any like global enterprise right now, and instead I'm self-employed and like proposal expert. So
Well, hang on, just can I stop you there for a minute, Kami? Everybody starts from the same base. All right. I know Bhaskar says that I'm an expert. Fine. I started many, many moons ago. Someone said to me when I worked at IBM, and IBM were having huge problems with people selling machines at half the price that they were. And my manager came to me and said, "Hey, we have a problem. This customer wants this. I have to now make a value statement. Why is our machine worth so much more than the other machine?" That was my first introduction to bidding. Not a pleasant way to learn, but boy, did I learn quickly. So everybody starts from the same baseline of knowing not a lot, or knowing nothing. You only learn by doing it, so don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. So the mentor mentor system sounds like yeah, focusing on the global employees ones for global employees, not for self-employed.
Hey, listen, I'm self-employed. I have been for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
That makes no difference. You are part of the community of bidding professionals. You don't have to work for a company. You can be mentored by anybody.
Okay.
It's not a company-wide thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very simple, Kimi, because I will tell you one example. Because every day, Ashley, who's my co-host, every day she normally asks me, "How do I feel today?" Right? That's it. She doesn't ask me anything. How do I feel today? And it makes me feel better because somebody is asking me, "How do I feel today?" And it's as simple as that. You could consider, for me, that's the mentoring, right? And on the other side, every day I come back home, my 7-year-old always asks me, "How was my daddy? How was your day? Are you happy?" So you don't need to think about it needs to be professional or somebody. So simply, I would suggest drop a message to Barbara and then ask Barbara, I'm sure Barbara will lend you 15 minutes of her time. Say hello to Barbara. And because I know you're part of the MCA chapter in the US. Barbara from the US, just say hello to her, talk through. I'm sure Barbara would love to help you and listen to you, and you can share the same on the other side of ethnography, right? You're fine. I remember you even go into Clubhouse and listen to people there. You're much more
You remember that.
advanced than most of us. But thank you, Jamie. I think I just want you to reach out to people even on this group.
Okay.
And,
it's clear now. Thank you.
Thank you. That'll be great. Again, Jennifer, I'm not sure whether you're back, but let me move to Smitha. Smitha, you did mention that you do have a mentor. Talk us through what you do there and also give few pointers around it so that people can think through what does mentoring means. Thank you, Smitha. Smitha?
Hey, hi. Hi, Alan. Hi, Bhaskar.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So yeah, I have a mentor and I'm connected with him on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to meet with him. But
Okay.
whenever I have any question regarding bids and proposal, I just write to him and he always respond to me. So yeah, and he's based out of Australia. So yes, I do have a mentor, and I personally I feel it is very useful. I mean, I'm very much benefited with this program, mentee program.
Now, Smita, as you grow, as you get better at what you're doing, have you ever thought about sharing your knowledge with other people, becoming a mentor yourself?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I have done the APMP foundation level course. So some of the people come back to me asking how you prepare it and I mean, what is the process and all. So I do share my experience with them.
Okay. And
yeah.
Must ask you, how does that feel when they come and ask you? How does that make
Sorry?
you feel? How does that make you feel when other people come and ask you for help?
Yeah, it feels great. When I feel, yes, I can evaluate to someone. I can guide, I can be useful for someone. Like I have someone in my, like I have mentor in my life. So yes, that's a great feeling.
Yes, I mean, there is a famous Shakespeare quote, upon the back of fleas, there are even smaller fleas, which is the same thing. But, mentors have mentors too. And the fact that you're now learning and you're growing and you're able to pass your skills on to other people, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's the way that the mentoring movement will grow. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Smita. Again, that's it. Reach out to people. Doesn't matter whether it's professional or personal. Reach out to people. Just spend some time, and you'll be surprised how caring people are. And also, as Alan pointed, the more you are in, because sometimes people will post in LinkedIn. Nothing stops you from reaching out to them and say, "Hey, I just saw your post. Please feel free to drop me a line or send me something." Keep an eye, because there are a few people who also share some of their stuff in, rather than to like, it's important to be human and then go back and reach to them. But thank you, Smita. That's good. Hopefully that would have inspired you a little bit more. And please do reach out. That's great. So again, Roshni, we just spoke a few minutes ago. Roshni, I'll just open you up again. Alan is here, and I know you have mentored people. At the same time, you also have been menteed. Talk us through any particular question.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, indeed. Loud and clear.
Well, hi, Alan. Hope you're doing well, and hi to everybody on the call.
Thank you.
I think, in terms of mentorship, I think it's important that, having been in this industry for about 20 years now, I think that it's important to have that guidance from expertise. And the point that you've also raised, Alan, is about reaching out to that of the retired folks is very important. I think there's a lot of seasoned bid people that we have across the globe that have the best knowledge and expertise in terms of training and facilitating and mentoring and coaching, the young upcoming bid and proposal professionals. And I think that the advantage of being an APMP member is that we have a community all over the globe that you can leverage on in terms of mentorship. Going back to my early career, I didn't really have a mentor as such, but I had someone that really believed in me, and that was my chapter leader at the African chapter at that point. And I think that obviously with someone that believes in your true potential is very important. And I think, Bhaskar, you also touched on the human element. It's very important that someone understands you in terms of personality, in terms of character, in terms of what your goals and your aspirations are, and to be able to align that to your career goals and your aspirations. So from a mentorship perspective, I think that it's a very special skill because, and I also give kudos to you, Alan, I think that you've also been in this field so long. People that have the patience and the caring to be able to pass those skills forward, it's called paying it forward. Yep. So, we want to see people prosper and grow in their careers, and that's what it's all about. It's about uplifting and empowering society and people. And I think as a mentor, because we've got the skills, we're able to, help you along the way in terms of your career. So from my side, like I said, you've got Alan you can reach out to. I'm also available if you need mentorship or coaching. And I think Bhaskar also has got all the training and facilitation to get you off the ground in terms of proposal career. So from a skills perspective, you've got everything from a one-stop shop. So so I think at the end of the day, choose someone that's willing to invest in you and make time for you and really guide you on the right path, because everybody comes from different industries as well. So make sure that you choose someone that can be easy, you can relate to, and to give you the right guidance and mentorship. I think that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshni. Again, you know what, it's you will just get with the flow, because you will be, once you start to share, it builds your confidence, and then you will be there right in front to help others. As you find Roshni and you find Alan and others, it's not initially they ask for help, but once they have it, then the amount of impact that they have created, you won't even imagine how many people they might have touched their lives. We are doing something.
If I can interrupt there, Bhaskar. I'm lucky enough to have qualified as an APMP professional, and I did my impact paper on, guess what, mentoring. So that's, to me, mentoring is very important.
Totally.
It's about communication, it's about sharing my knowledge, it's about helping people grow. I get a great feedback when I help people grow. So I mean, that's my thing, if you will. I enjoy doing it immensely, which is why I'm doing it, even if at times it's a ruddy nuisance, because I don't need all these other people's problems, but okay, I still enjoy doing it. But the one thing I'd say to everybody who's listening on this, if you're going to be a mentor or a mentee, makes a difference which end you are, always open and honest. If you're not, you won't get anything out of the program.
Correct. It's very safe. You need to believe it's a safe environment, and you are here because you genuinely want to solve a problem, because you don't want to ask a question and go back and do the same thing. And Alan nailed it. And the most important thing which Alan or Roshni didn't spend it is, this is absolutely done in confidence. And secondly, 99.9% or most of the time it's free. So, yes. and they're genuinely here because they care, not just because, there are coaches, obviously, who leadership coaches and other, I don't know, fitness coaches, diet coaches, you name it, mental health coaches who bill by the hour. But most mentoring programs are free because money doesn't even cross their mind, So that's why it's important, don't miss out on this. You might have one. There are people who might have multiple mentors as well.
So I do, Masco. I think I was just thinking in my mind, I've got at least 5 people that I go and talk to.
Yes, nice. So Vekshita, come on board. I know you do have a mentor. Talk us through how it all happened and your mentoring thing, and share a few words.
Yeah, thank you, Bhaskar, and thank you for inviting for this session. Really nice insights. I'm glad I joined. And thanks, Alan, for taking us through this. My question was just the point on what Alan and you just mentioned about multiple mentors, right? So I had that question about, can we have like more than one mentors? Because sometimes I feel mentorship just happens organically, or say naturally, even without, us intending to have a mentor. And I know over a period of time in a career, we will go and, pick somebody who who we look up to and who we can, learn from. But sometimes it just happens naturally, where we learn and they learn things by just observing somebody, the way they work, and over a period of time with the communication, it just happens that they turn out to be our mentors. So that was my question, and Alan just answered it, that yes, we can have multiple mentors.
Okay, something that I learned a long time ago, and it's an acronym, and it's ABC. Always be the coach. It doesn't really apply in mentoring, but maybe it does. I run the coaching business outside of this for money, my life already. I have to earn a living, but the mentoring bit I do for free. But the same principles arise whenever I'm talking to somebody. I'm always looking at what they're doing and trying to understand what their issue, what their problem, what their pain, why they talk to me, what is their issue. So, and various people, I mean, I have 5 people that I talk to. They are 5 separate people in 5 separate, totally unrelated professions who I can talk to about their particular skill, their particular facility that helps me. So there's no issue that says you only have one issue. If you're a normal human being, you've got more than one question you need to ask. Exactly. So why shouldn't you have more than one mentor? Totally.
I think most of the time, as Alan mentioned, you will end up thinking that's the problem that you are asking him, but you'll end up actually finding out that's actually not a problem at all. It's something else.
That's usually the case, yeah. It's usually the case, Pascal.
So again, it's the ability, instead of asking that one question, ends up solving the root cause of that problem. Is not that problem, it's something else. And then you then go ahead and finding to solve that problem that will lead up to another problem. And that's how things go. That's so having that sounding board, even for me doing this webinars and podcasts and stuff, it's some sort of cleansing exercise where I listen to others. It gives me lots of ideas. It also tells me what to do as well. So Vekshita, I think 100% reach out to people. And again, we have some good people within this forum as well. Reach out to them, say hello to them. Sometimes what happens on the other side, it could be Japan or US or UK, to what happens in India or Middle East. Funnily enough, people are here from different geographies. It could be the same thing, but they might be approaching it differently, right? That cultural aspects and so, there's so much to learn, Feel free to keep in touch with the team. And thanks for the question. Any other questions from everybody? Jennifer, would you like to would you like to come on board now? Alan can't sleep if you don't say hello to him.
Hi, Alan.
Hiya, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Well, yeah, same shit, different day, go on.
I appreciate all your insight.
Well, we try. Listen, I'm not the end be all and end all of everything. I just have my own ideas, and some of them work and some of them don't, but
Jennifer, any questions, or anybody else have anything? Because again, I was very happy. Initially we had 37 plus, and towards this day, it actually went to 49, but most people tend to tune into the recording, but you have this exclusive last 10 minutes. Chip in any further questions, anybody, but thank you, Barbara. Thanks for joining. Jennifer, anything from you, or anything from you, Vekshita or Kiyomi?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm going to drop now. Got other stuff to do, but I appreciate everything you've said. And thanks for setting this up.
Thank you, Jennifer. Look up to yourself.
Bye,
By the
everyone.
way, the slides will be available. Pascal will have them, so you can look at the slides at your leisure.
Thank you. And that's it. If there is no questions, but thanks, guys. And this is much more interactive than I anticipated. Thanks for coming out. It takes a lot of courage to actually step in and ask a question in any forum, which we are not fine-tuned to anyway. And I remember in the second bid that I was working on, somebody put the decimal place wrong on the pricing sheet because of that. And so 1.2 million, it ended up being 120,000 for the whole project. I was sitting and staring it, and I didn't ask the question, is it right? The cost of that was very high. And because it's culturally, you're not fine-tuned to ask questions, but it's important to ask questions. It could be people, as Alan pointed, the maximum they could say is no. So thank you for joining in. Next week we have Monday. I think Monday we have Roshni. It's a very interesting topic. It's like how to get a first impression right. So please do tune into that as well and support Roshni. And there will be a lot more attendees because we're coming out of Easter. So that's it. Any questions? You have Alan's details, you have my details, and you have other people's as well. Please do drop by, ask people anything, and keep us posted how you are doing. Otherwise, thanks for joining. Thanks for all the love and support. And I hope to see you Monday next week and Thursday again to look into the German market with Wolfram. And every week we have something, either in our podcast or in our workshop. Please do tune in and share us your feedback. And Alan, thank you as always for joining. And I'll see you very soon, Alan. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.